A story built by the dealing of cards. Let's see all of what happened in the first chapter of the Fable of the Fated Fates.
So, an evil guy named Verano used my scientific serums on his goons to commit terrorism on all collegiate graduations of the 12 precincts of the burg in Zabraria. At the Arcadian Summit University, 4 unlucky weirdos, 1, a fully armored artificer, Wash, a brawling chainsmoker, Shay, a shadow-stepping elf, and Codex, an energetically naive bunny girl, got caught in a fight with the hulking goons of Verano. Escaping the massacre and traveling to Merkside, the undercity of Zabraria, where all sorts of shady business happens, they banded together under one and Wash's boss, Darian, to find and stop Verano. But who they found instead was me, Terrence, a scientific genius and mastermind, a man capable of grand experiments and wonderful mixologist of chemicals the world has never seen before, and after that...
All right, let's not get too carried away, darling. After we saved Terrence from Verano's clutches, we learned that Verano was not only an enemy of the crime lords of the Undercity, but also of an adventuring guild on the western side of the city, the Red Raven Adventuring Guild. A guild Codex was hired by to investigate Verano in the first place. The guildmaster, a man named Sham, picked us up and whisked us to the guild hall to also hire us to investigate Verano.
It is a pretty good thing we banded together, because it seems like we can make a pretty penny from everyone just to learn more about this guy.
The guild wanted to test our ability first, though, and hired us for a monster-killing mission, cleaning up a giant rat infestation in a certain district. Here we really began to feel like a group. I have to say, my compatriots are surely interesting, and they really do seem to want...
Just get to the fucking point. I'm sure these people don't want to be here just as much as I don't.
No, go ahead, Wash.
Whatever. So we killed a shitload of rats. They seemed to gather sacks of vomit and blood. And there was this weird guy in a tree Codex talked to who called us Fated. And that's what led us to being called the Fated Fates. We didn't necessarily get any info from the weird guy, but we cleared the rats, so we returned to the guild hall, got paid, and officially named as a venturing party. Weirdly enough, this entire time, one was acting weird too, which is saying something. She does have a link to a green devil woman, which seems fucking...
Maybe we let one tell that to everyone, Wash? Anyways, the 5 at the time returned to the guild hall, and one was escorted out by the Bull of the Onyx Obscurity, basically the highest ranking official of one of the scariest government guilds. She called one Cornelia Rousseau, but we would not find that out until much later. The rest of the party were sent off to find out more about Verano, proving their worth as adventurers after their trial mission. I, Issa, paladin and bard college student, oversaw their new mission, and I helped the Fated Fates go undercover as guild members at a fundraising gala. It was held at the Polished Wall, aka Burgomaster Serafima Rousseau's castle. She's a scary woman who loves to make a scene of punishing people, but never people who actually deserve to be punished. Maybe that's why at her events there are always shadier aristocracy and nobles, like the people who Verano had connections to. We found Verano's underling, Visrai, but he immediately tried to point us out as the villains to Lady Serafima, which is fair enough because it actually was Terrence's serums that were used to trigger the massacres at the graduations.
Hey! That's not entirely true.
And then Codex decided to dance with someone she believed was or was connected to the man she saw in the tree, a definite vampire-looking man named Balthazar. Though the party was cut short when Serafima sent her guards after us and we jumped from the cliffside into the sector of Zabraria known as the Wilds, and it was just...
a place that is way too dangerous for a group like the Fated Fates, especially when Codex is polymorphed into a sheep. They followed a river away from the Polished Wall and shared a few touching moments with each other. Terrence told Issa he made the serums. Issa told Terrence she lies about being in college. Codex told Shay she really doesn't know how her magic works, and Shay, well, Shay didn't really tell anyone anything. But she did see a ghost named Adelaide. They ended up at a tavern along the river run by a woman named Sum, who sensed they were in trouble with the burg and offered her help. Sum teleported the 5 back to the 10th, and they reconvened with the Red Raven Adventuring Guild without being noticed by the Volguard, and filled Maud, Sham, and me, just returning from my mission, in on their adventures and findings from the gala in the wilds. Codex followed me to the bathhouse after that little meeting, and told me she was worried about me because she recognized who I was with, the Bull of the Onyx Obscurity, who took me away. Whatever. When I was finally left alone in the bath, Chartreuse visited me. She asked me how my mission went, and then I explained everything.
And you didn't remember because she keeps your memories. Yeah, we get it. In the morning, Maud sent us to the third to find more info on Verano and to investigate my former boss, Phoebe. since we were already suspicious of her. Phoebe didn't have much to share other than that she'd seen Balthazar and Verano in the third near the June box. So logically, the next step was visiting my dad instead, because hey, he is an ex-criminal and could maybe help with current crime stuff. To our surprise, Verano's men and a specific guy named Scar, who Terrence recognized, showed up at my dad's place of business. So we fought them. Scar was using the smaller guys to heal himself. There was like this blue ooze coming out of their mouths and they disappeared as they were sucked into Scar's body. It was really gross. Scar actually knocked out Terry and stole 2 of his serums, which I guess made him stronger, and then he knocked me out. But from what I heard, Shay showed up and healed me, and Issa healed Terry, and then Terry killed Scar, and then promptly passed out from taking too many serums. Then we went to the June box, which this was Issa's first time being there, and we filled in Darien. They told us Verano had marked some of Terrence's money, so Shay took it and put it into the pockets of randos so Verano couldn't track us. Darien also told us Balthazar was a Demarta, aka the bull of the Nerimon Society's brother. They then gave us money and told us to draw Verano out of hiding. Easier said than done.
But we did do it. We decided to hold a fundraiser to benefit those affected by the loss at the graduations and make up for the
Yes, but before we did that, I had a chat with one and confessed to her I was hired by Sham and the Red Raven Adventuring Guild to steal the Darkroot Diamond for the Bull of the Onyx Obscurity, which triggered some weird response in one and produced a Green Devil woman who restored some of her memories. And that was weird, but whatever. I got that secret out, so...
So anyways, we hosted a fundraising event at Tita's, an establishment procured by Shay with money from Darien. Although she pocketed 2,000 gold, some of us invited choice people, namely Codex, who invited Balthazar through Phoebe, who was blurry, apparently. Other than Codex, Issa also caused a stir because she invited her parents.
Yes, I invited my parents. Fair fucking father. They had stuff to donate, plus it looked great for me that I'm in an adventuring group through school. Which is a lie, as is most of what I tell my parents. I also invited Balthazar's brother, Casimir, who I met in the bathhouse of the Lost and Found a week earlier, because he knew seemingly everything about me, like how my partner died at a graduation massacre, and he told me Balthazar was raising an undead army and that my dead lover was in it. Fantastic. Keep your friends close and enemies closer, I guess.
So, yes, I did invite Balthazar, who was probably my arch enemy, and that ended up being a great move, because I asked if he could kill Verano for us, and then like 1 minute later, he revealed Verano's dead body to the whole crowd, and before the eyes of the gods, and said that we, the Fated Fates, had killed him. And then he asked people to start bidding on us, because, you know, if we had actually just killed the person responsible for the massacres, we'd be the highest ranking adventuring party in Zabraria.
If you want more specific details on this chapter, check out this playlist to get episode-by-episode recaps from every member of the Fated Fates.